Hey everyone, thanks for joining the video I'll be doing today on lumens, stellar lumens, whatever you want to call it. It's had various names throughout the years, changing from one to another, but nonetheless, we're going to be taking a look at lumens. We're looking at lumens versus tether, as I tend to do. I'm going to be taking a look at it from a um, very high time frame. I'm going to be starting to look at it from a weekly time frame. As most of you are aware, I've been very bullish on Lumens since it was at about 4.5 cents. And so what I want to take a look at is, of course, our high level. I want to take a look and see what things look like from a high level, and then just kind of drill down into, what the charts look like right now, and where I think things might be heading. So of course, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just giving my opinion on the market, and you're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, and doing your own research. Okay, so let's just go ahead and dive into it. What we're basically looking at here is we're taking a look at from Bitcoin's all-time high, which is January 2018, looking through the entire bear market, and taking a look and see where we're at right now. Now, this is one reason why it is not wise to get too bullish too fast, because not this week, but last week, Lumens went on a 23% run. Well, look what happened back here. In May of 2019, it went on a 43% run just to turn around and go down another 71%. Look back here. We went on a 36% run and we went down 74%. All right. Now, what I'm not saying is that Lumens is going to go down another 70 some percent, because we would be going back down to basically a penny, which is basically at our support here. So if Lumens did happen to turn around and go down 70%, we'd be back at like 1.5 cents. We'd be back in this cluster back here. Not thinking that is what is going to happen. But I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But I don't think I am in this case. So let's just pay attention here. We've got this decent run here. We're trying to push above the 21 exponential. And as you can see, the previous times where we've tried to push above the 21 exponential, we've had a pretty deep retrace. Then not quite as high of an attempt, and then a retrace. So this was back when Bitcoin was bouncing off of 6,000 over and over and over until it finally broke through. And this was the time where Bitcoin broke through 6,000 for the first time. Okay, we had a bearish retest, same level, same horizontal right here, and then we failed. Then right here, we had a bearish retest twice, and coincidentally, this happens to be bouncing off of, this is our 200 exponential. So we're trying to get back up here again, which is going to be at about 8.4 cents. And I do tend to believe that we're going to break through it this next time we test it. But this week has to stay above the 21 exponential, which is sitting right here at about 6.2 cents. And I'm going to be looking for a bit of a pullback, and then for a good strong support push out of this into much higher levels. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the 12-hour time frame. But before I do, let's take a look at our stochastics, the green one in particular. That's based off the current time frame, and I'm on a weekly time frame. Right now the weekly looks very, very good. The weekly looks very good. Hasn't gone into the neutral zone. It's still in the bearish control zone, but right now it's sitting here at about 21. If this thing get up above 25, then I think it's got potential to go up higher. I'm going to take a look at the 12-hour now. 12-hour looks really, really fantastic. Now keep in mind, we're going from a weekly time frame all the way down to a 12-hour time frame. 12-hour is straight up overbought right now. Straight up overbought. But we do tend to be consolidating on the 12-hour above the 200 simple moving average. Okay, so this is looking fairly well. If this 200 simple moving average can hold, and it just coincidentally the 21 exponential it just crossed up above the 200 exponential. So this is good. You've got the 55 getting ready to cross the 100. So all of this is very good on higher time frames. I'm sure it's already happened on 4-hour time frames. If we take a look at the 4-hour time frame, what we're going to see likely, all of these moving averages are constructed in a very bullish fashion. And we're bouncing off the 21 exponential on the 4-hour time frame. Going back to the 12-hour, the higher the time frame is, the harder it is for these moving averages to cross, and we're getting ready to see a cross on the 55 and the 100. If this green 55 exponential gets close to this 200 exponential, that's going to be very bullish. We haven't gotten there yet. And I'd be willing to venture a guess that the daily still looks pretty bearish. We just had a fresh cross of the 21 and the 55 exponential, but all of the other moving averages are still pretty bearish. On the daily, we're getting resistance here at the 200 simple moving average. So I'm expecting us to continue to consolidate between the 100 exponential and the 200 simple moving average, and then eventually these are going to start compressing and we're going to have an expansionary phase to the upside. But, you know, taking a look at this, it looks like we have a nice 1, 2, and then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in this 4, and then we're going to go up for a 5. So I'm basically counting it this way. So from down here, we've got a 1, we've got a 2, and then we're working on the 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, how valid is this? Okay, so let's just take a look and see from our 1, 2. So we're going to go from the low to this pivot up here, pull it back down, and we have already passed, you know, we've already gone beyond. We've had an extension here on this third wave. Okay. So basically, this is looking very bullish to me, at least for the time being. And then, of course, I'm taking a look up here at this range, and then going back here and taking a look at our horizontals. And again, I'm on a daily time frame here. This level right here is where I'm expecting that wave 3 to end, and this is not based off of not really based off of fib levels, but this level right here, where we've got support cluster here, we've got a support here, we've got resistance clusters up here. So I'm expecting us to get up to about 7.8 to 8 cents, and that's probably going to be where we're going to end this wave 3. And then we're going to go for the 4, which I'm expecting this 200, one of these 200s I'm expecting to hold, probably is going to end up being the 200 simple moving average, and then we're going to go up for the 5. Now where this 5 goes, you know, it's really anybody's guess. How long this is going to take is really anybody's guess. But I'm expecting somewhere around 7.5 to 8 cents to be resistance. We'll be doing a pullback, probably, you know, to like the 382, since that is typically where your wave 3 is going to be pulling back from. So let's just take a guess that we go from wave 2 to wave 3 up here. We're going to see a pullback to maybe 6.7 cents down to 6.1 cents. Maybe we just go down to 6 cents. We get a nice wick off of there. And then we go up for our target, which is really going to be somewhere between 8.7 and 10 cents. So it's going to be nice, nice target up there to the upside. And then what I expect that to be, just for the record, what I'm expecting this to be is a first wave. And if that's the case, let's just pull a fib on that. Let's say we go straight to 10 cents. I'm going to be expecting a deep retrace back to about 6.5 cents. Okay. So even though things are looking very, very good, I mean, these things don't always just continue moving to the upside. So we're going to have a nice correction, and then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We stop at 10 cents, and then we're going to be looking for a deep retrace, a 1, a 2, and a 3. And then we're going to start another uptrend. Okay. So we're going to be keeping this in mind, probably going to bounce off the 382. I am expecting a 50% retrace on that after we hit our target of 10 cents. Keep in mind, it will have just gone up basically 2x. So my average buy-in is about 4.38 cents. I had originally bought it at 4.5 cents, but I did a little bit of accumulating up here. I increased my holdings by about 2.3%, and now I'm waiting for this this mark here at about 7.4 to 7.8 cents, maybe 8 cents to do some selling, and I'll be reaccumulating at the 200 simple moving average, probably going to be somewhere around 6.2 to 6.5 cents, and then I'll be waiting for that 10 cent mark to take my profit, and then wait for this bigger retrace, because it is going to happen. All of this is reliant on Bitcoin continuing to stay at least steady in some way, shape, or form. I want Bitcoin to stay steady. I don't want it to be extremely volatile. That'll allow Lumens to do what I would like for it to do. But for the time being, this is still looking to be pretty constructive. Bitcoin dominance is still kind of on shaky ground, which is good for altcoins. It'll allow the alts to continue to move to the upside. But as long as we can maintain a decent amount of volume, I know it does not look very good as far as volume is concerned. When you take a look all the way back here, the volume that we currently have is basically non-existent. But relative to what we have seen in the previous days, the volume is looking actually very good. So for continuation to the upside, a little bit to about 7.8 to 8 cents, then I'd say a pullback to right about where we are right now, looking at about 6.2 cents, and then that continuation up to 10 cents is ultimately where I'm looking for. That's going to be a 2x move, a little bit more than that, from where the lows were back here at 4.2, 4.3 cents, and then we'll see that move to the upside. If we want to take a look at this from a weekly time frame, and again, I'm on a log scale here, let's go ahead and clean things out here. All right, so what this looks like is a wave 3, and let's just take a look at this. So we're going to go from this pivot down here all the way up to that pivot up there. And basically we came almost down to the 50. We didn't quite do it, so that would be very interesting if we were to come down here and tag this 50. But nonetheless, what I'm going to be looking for on a continuation out of this, if we are going to continue out of this, we're not going to pivot and turn and fall to the downside, back down here to about 4 cents. If we're going to continue up to the upside, there is a strong possibility that in the next bull run, I have to say those words because this is not like a shot in the dark, this is a technical target, looking for a move up to about $4 for Lumens, okay? So if you bought Lumens at 4 cents and you sell at $4, that is a significant increase in your capital, okay? So I would just be very careful not to get too bullish on this, still continue to play the waves, and every week or so I do a video on Lumens. Last one I did was a week ago. Just keep an eye on that because the target here, if we're going to turn around and go into a bull market here in the next weeks or months, target up here is going to be $4. $4, almost right on the money. So that is a good target. So for me, this looks like a nice 1, 2, and then we see this 3 up here going down in for the 4, and then we're going to see that move to the upside to get us all the way up to $4. But again, that is going to take weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and lots of patience, right? Crypto is not about the quick dollar. Unless we're in a bull market, then it's very easy to make a quick buck. But right now, we are just trying to position ourselves to be ready for the next bull run because it'll get here, more than likely. It's just a matter of when. So we get our good positions, we feel pretty good about them, and then we just have to trust that this is going to be, the start of the next run, and not to sell too early. Okay, well that's all that I've got for you right now. Thought I'd keep this really short. I hope you're having a good day wherever you are in the world, and if you have any questions, feel free to pop in the Discord. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Have a good day, everyone.